Okay. Hello. Welcome to tonight's Divine Energy Flow session, as well as a very, very special to me topic and conversation that I'll be able to have with a couple of good friends and the founders of the Church of Psilomethoxin. So, this is what this week's talk will be about: is the church, is the medicine, the sacrament for the church, and for you guys to get to know uh, a couple of the founders of the church. So Greg Lake will be with us, and he is a dear friend. He's an author of 3 different books. He's an attorney that uh, helps people, gives them guidance and direction on how to open churches. Um, you know, um, and very good friend. And also we have Benjamin Moore, which is he's a veteran. He's another founder of the church, and his mission is really to help the rest of the veterans because it's such a huge issue with the mental health of the veterans. And so they are both here with us tonight. Let's see, there we are. Yay! All right. So, can everyone hear each other?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Ben? All right. So, beautiful. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this. Can we start with maybe Ben? How did this happen? How did you find Psilomethoxin? How did you get involved with the church? Just a quick, um, just quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. Ian and I have been working together for some time. And I just remember walking in the house, walking into the church, and him going, "You want to try this mushroom?" And I'm asking him, like, what's in it? He's like, "Well, I fed it 5-MeO DMT and we made Psilomethoxin." Immediately, fully entrusted. I trust him. I'm like, "Yes, give it to me." And I just took and ate it. And yeah, we experienced. I experienced something at that moment that I didn't quite understand the amount of answers that I had because I didn't even know the questions to ask. But it began to unfold when I shared it with another veteran who is full of physical injuries, and he was able to do things with his life and function physically again like he'd never been before. So for me, seeing that clarity and the connection with the self and how it can affect someone's well-being within moments of consuming it, you know, to me, just gave me the reassurance that this was like a divine gift. This was something that was given to us to be custodians of, to steward it to people that need it, that want to reconnect to themselves, which is really, everybody. I believe that deep down wants to connect with themselves and connect with what their purpose is, and that brings reduction in suffering and understanding and knowing, why all this is happening. So all that energy started to create a lot of momentum for me, and I just wanted to continue to get this to people. And so I just envisioned myself just like gathering mana and sharing it with as many people as possible because I know the benefit that they're going to get from it. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. And you do hyper doses.
Yes. Fridays, yeah. Fridays we go to different places around Austin and encourage veterans to come out. And it's not just specifically a veteran hike, but it's veteran focused in that I want veterans to come and be able to come into a place where they're able to be in nature, to integrate themselves, but also the point is that we don't want to isolate within our populace or within our demographic, because that just creates like repetitive behaviors. And so getting myself included into environments and around other people that have differing backgrounds, of opinions and values can help to catalyze the acceptance and the integration that veterans have in society. So, and I recognize the marriage between Psilomethoxin, which really allows the ego to sort of take a back seat and just hang out while the true self connects with everyone else. So it's really been such a magical combination, the hiking with the Psilomethoxin in the group.
Yeah, I mean, like I've noticed when I take it, I just want to move around. Like I want to move around. Like I want to dance, or I want to, And some people might be like, "Well, that's fun. That's too much fun for being a sacrament." No, dancing is to me
That's the
sacred as
exuberance
well.
part, you know. Well, we've come from a place of like suppression, like we've been uh, cough suppressants and all these different suppressants of how we process information. It's like, we say trauma and all these things, and we imagine maybe there's a baseline where everyone should be balanced. And, really, I think we're all accelerating. And when you get to the point where we can dance and we can move our bodies and we can use the energy to make ourselves happy and full of joy, that's the exuberance. That's where this is meant to go. We're meant to go to that place. It's not just to see and obsess over what is balance. And balance is just recognizing that we are a conduit of energy. And when we build this energy up, we want to express it. And this sacrament allows our body to just move and feel and flow with the energy around it. So yeah, definitely don't hold back, express.
Yeah. It's sacred as well. Like you don't have to be in meditation to have a sacred experience. All of that is sacred as well. Like I believe, of course. Greg, what was your like first sort of feeling and energetically experience with the Psilomethoxin? I know that you've kind of been taking it for a while and playing with it and this and that. Where did you discover that like this was your thing?
Well, the first time I took it, Ian had shipped me some fruits from that first batch. I actually sat on it for a little while because I was super busy at the time. But yeah, the first time I took it, I mean, I noticed when I got the mushrooms that they weren't bruised at all. They looked like normal psilocybin mushrooms, but there's no bruising or bluing on them whatsoever. So from what Ian was telling me, that was consistent, with how it was explained to me. Yeah, and I took it and, just noticed that this was a mostly just energetic experience. At that time, I didn't really sit with it enough to really like go through all what exactly the differences were, other than, my initial impression was that this is much less visual. As a matter of fact, for me, visuals are almost non-existent with it. Much less visual, much more energetic. So yeah, I mean, my impression was, I had a flashback back to an ayahuasca experience I'd had speaking with some entities, and they told me that, the reason why we're in such a pickle with each other as humans and with nature is because there was a time where religions, matters of spirit, faith, and science and medicine were all studied under one roof, and during that time, because nature was part of science and medicine and all that, humans looked at and respected nature differently because it also was part of this divine, alchemy and study. They understood that we were an intricate part of nature, not that we're supposed to rule over nature. And that when that split occurred in the areas of study where we split science and medicine with these other things, it really started to redefine humans' relationship, particularly with Mother Nature, because now we're looking to man and science for our healing and divination, versus looking to nature for our healing and divination. So yeah, when I took the Psilomethoxin, it became immediately clear to me that this was a physical manifestation of that reunion, in the sense that the synthetic 5-MeO-DMT that's synthesized by man represents the science and medicine, and that the sacred mushrooms and the substrates represent nature. So it was kind of told to me, that first experience, that this is a physical manifestation of that reunion. And, I firmly believe that the Psilomethoxin, along with other tryptamines, natural and synthetic, are really what's going to help to a large extent correct our errors, particularly with Mother Nature, obviously between us. Hopefully in a timely manner, I guess all I can say.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Like I love the intertwining of of science and
Mhm.
nature. That's
Yeah.
really beautiful.
Hmm.
And how do you think that it's helped you, like in your daily, both of you, whoever wants to go first, like how's it helped you in your daily lives? Do you take it every day, every few days, whenever you feel like it, when you're called?
Ben, you want to go?
Initially, yeah, sure. Initially, I did like a 30-day dieta with it, which was just like a microdose protocol. And at first, I followed the Stamets protocol, and which calls for like a day on, a day off. But I realized really quickly that this is something that doesn't build a tolerance, and so I could take it every day. So I started taking it every day, and after 30 days, just sort of evaluated where I was, and and realized that I didn't go in within specifically in any intention, and I just all I did was pay attention just to the differences and the changes in my life, and I noticed that I was like less looking. When you go to the grocery store and you're really hungry, and you see cupcakes or you see something that's palatable that maybe isn't great for you, but you just I start to crave it. I'm like looking at cheesecake, but now I was ignoring the things that really weren't beneficial to me and just sort of like allowing them to be there, just bypassing and making better choices. And so, I just sort of went with that. And then I stopped, after I stopped the protocol, I recognized these things were still ongoing. Like these were patterns that I had built in myself. And so I noticed, and that's how I know, like with the Friday microdose hike that we do, it's helping to like reconnect with the patterns in myself and create better operations. I look at things, everyone looks at things differently and has their own lens. And so the way I'm militarized, so I see this as like moving things operationally and resources. And so it helps me to align things, in my purview that are best for me and my mission, and all the like noise that's really is like really distracting from my purpose is it's just sort of there, but not I'm not like doing this like squirrel. I'm not doing that. I'm continuing on. So it's really helped me in that way. And I did some working out with it, which is really nice. And Greg and I have talked a lot about the working out stuff. It's like it just gets so in the zone and just so like connected with what you're doing. So like going into the gym, doing like squats, just nothing matters, nothing exists. And like the feeling of like when you go to muscle failure, that's just not as it's not as prevalent. Like there's the burn, the stress isn't there. It's just more allowed, so it's really a different and amazing feeling. So yeah, that's my sort of experience in the beginnings working with it.
That is cool. That is really cool that it helps your workout too. I mean,
Oh
that's
yes,
what we're talking about. Like,
totally.
that
Like
is
people train. I have friends that are professional athletes and they're training with it. So
very
it's yeah.
awesome. Greg?
Yeah. So, and I'll say that I wasn't able to really zero in on the, effects of this or benefits of the sacrament until I started microdosing it. Once I started microdosing it, I was really able to clue in on what I feel is, and why I think, to be honest, my opinion is that the real magic and spiritual progress occurs with this sacrament with some type of microdosing regimen. I usually do 2 to 3 weeks on, 1 week off. I'll take it every day. And the good thing about it is that because it's not psilocybin psilocin, there's no tolerance buildup. So you can take it every day with the same or substantially similar effects as the prior day. But, for me, on top of the athletic performance, which is absolutely enhanced, it just removes me from my egoic mind enough to where it removes me from, or it puts a filter between incoming stimuli and outgoing response. And so in that filter is a very centered, it's really my higher self, so I'm able to actually make decisions on how I react, where I put my mental energy. It makes me real cognizant of where my mental energy is going. And it gives me absolute control over it too. And so, yeah, I mean, it's, in that state, life is much easier. And, in the aggregate, if you're able to, for a period of time, really focus your mental energy just on things you want to grow, and avoiding those things that do not serve you, undoubtedly your outward world is going to change. Because we all know that, mental energy is our manifestation power. And so, yeah, so I know it's basically this, like people who are depressed or always stuck in their head, it stops those ruminating or intrusive thoughts. You're able to identify them before your mind even goes down that road. And I can completely dissolve them. If my mind starts to go in a place that's not going to serve me, I can stop it right there. And nothing else about it. So yeah, I mean, I really do think that, on a spiritual level, this is a true antidepressant, meaning that the spiritual effects of putting you in touch with your higher self has incidental effects on the mental plane, in that it can reduce depression. So it's really a spiritual thing. We call it depression, in science, but really, in my opinion, it's a lack of access to your higher self.
Like a lack of connection. Yeah.
Yeah, it's energy. It's like, and that's the beauty. What I find when I do it, it's like there's all of the energy, and it could be depression. It could be whatever other energetic, nuisance could be around. It's like it's almost like it tells me, move this, move that. It's almost like there's spirit telling me to get away from the computer for a second and go move your body. It literally, at some times when I'm on the computer trying to work, like I can literally, not vocally, but I can literally feel that pull to stop. Like stop and go move, stop and go outside, stop, not forever, but take a break and go do something that will release energy. So maybe that's where like the antidepressant, because it gets rid of, or it transmutes the energy, maybe is what it is. Yeah, it's beautiful. And I take it, just to let everybody know, like I take it probably half the week, probably 3 or 4 days during the week, a very, very low dose. My dose for my microdose, I don't do it as much as the regular microdose. I will do like half of a microdose, like maybe 100 milligrams instead of the 250. And it's just perfect.
We're finding that people are getting results down to 60 milligrams. So, that's so that's good. It's good to have. Some people are very sensitive, and especially if you're sensitive to energy and sensitive to that stuff, you're going to be more sensitive to this medicine, because it's just going to unlock it and let it flow more, right? So you become more. You can feel it. You can. It's like tangible, palpable.
Yeah. So, can you, without? I mean, obviously, we don't want to completely share like exactly how it's made, but how does the mushroom get the 5-MeO? Like where does the 5-MeO come from, first of all?
Well, the 5-MeO is synthesized from plant-based material that starts out as melatonin, whatever plant, like orthovanillin, is made into melatonin. And then we take that and it's made into 5-MeO DMT, and that's fed to, it becomes a nutrient in essence, and it's fed to the mycelium of the mushroom. And the mycelium is the dirt, the substrate. It's like the mass of the actual living mushroom. And so in that, it does its magic alchemy and marries the molecule with its own process, and then gives us a mushroom. And so it's as simple as that. It's like all these fancy labs and all these expensive research tools. It's just all inside the mushroom, and it gives us the magic.
Cool. Okay, because I know that some people are probably like, well, how did yeah. So
there's no like mixy after, or splitting hairs inside of the powder or nothing. It's like 100% pure mushroom that comes from the earth.
Beautiful. And so now I want to kind of switch to talking about the church. Because this is something that like I love I've not gone to, but I've attended every service except for one because I was in ceremony. But I want someone to talk about what does the church stand for? Like I know, but what I think, but like where does it stand for? What is like what are the is it any religions can come and be a part of the church? Does it matter? Does that have anything to do with it at all? And all that.
Yeah, I'll answer that. So anybody is welcome to come to our church. To be a member and receive sacrament, you have to make some certifications about your sincerity in doing so. But, this is the universal sacrament, meaning that it doesn't belong to any lineage. It belongs to humans. Us at the church, we don't agree with identity politics. We think that creates dissonance amongst people in our space and generally. And, we're really built off this principle of cosmic unity. When you reach states of unity of consciousness and you realize the true reality of non-duality, well, that's your whole moral compass right there. That tells you all you need to know about how you should be treating other beings, how you should be treating Mother Nature. That's all you really need to know. And so, a lot of these lineages involved in all these identity politics, to us, that's dissonant and antithetical to really the heart of the theogenic experience, cosmic unity. And so we at all times stand for cosmic unity. Anything that creates dissonance among people, we seek to avoid to the extent feasible. So yeah, it's open to everybody. People who even have experiences with other plant medicines and theogens can come to our, because for us, we're non-dogmatic. We don't tell anybody what to believe, but what we've done is create a sacred and loving container for people to come together and explore these answers to ultimate issues together, right? And also general specific life questions. But, that's really what religions do, is that they provide a holy book or a pastor or some other thing by where people can try to search for answers to these ultimate questions. Most religions try to answer those for you and create believers and non-believers, but we're not like that. We're, for us, spiritual seeking is really the good, wholesome part of religion, not necessarily the destination that you reach. For us, it's whatever you believe today that makes you feel peace and lack of fear and able to really live your life, like believe that. We'll support you through that process, right? So that's really what we're built around. Like I said, we are very, we're trying to bring back science and medicine with religion and spirit and nature. And so, obviously our sacrament is a physical manifestation of that reunion, but we work with medical professionals and researchers who are wanting to do some studies on Psilomethoxin. We're working with them. We'll continue to work with, any medical or medical professional scientists. They reach out to us all the time and want to get involved one way or another. And we're more than happy to have them. I mean, everybody else too, but, as a means of fostering this reunion, we want to make as many bridges between our church and that community, those communities, as we can. Trying to think what else, Jermaine. I mean, that's really the nuts and bolts. We on our website, we have some other core foundational beliefs. Oh, one other thing, and kind of goes along with, for us, integration and community support is just as key of a practice as taking the sacrament itself, because that's where people really start to make sense of these experiences, working one-on-one with a provider, or integration groups, even community gatherings. People are talking. I mean, just the other day on the veteran hiker dose, I was in Austin, and me and a veteran spoke for 30 minutes about some of our prior mystical experiences and what that meant for us. And, we were sitting there kind of comparing notes. And so that's kind of really the way I envision integration groups going is, hey, I had this insight. Here's where I'm at in my life. Somebody else, oh, I had something similar to that. Here's what I took to mean from it. And kind of just trying to work together to piece these things. A lot of times what we experience in these deep higher levels of consciousness aren't readily explained or understood. And some of it never will be totally comprehended and understood on a mental level. But working with other people can definitely help people make more sense out of what's being relayed to them in these experiences. And and that's our religion is.
Yeah, we do it on Sundays. On Sundays after service, people can come and they can participate in that integration and that exploration. Yeah. And we had a lot last Sunday. I think there was up to 55 or 60 almost during it. So, we're going to maybe start spinning off into some more creative groups, and we can explore different topics and have some fun. So I see some three-dimensional exploration on the horizon, which is exciting.
Yeah, I will say this. Y'all have this so perfectly mapped out. Like, you have the perfect people, like Hope as the integration, like the integration calls are so good. It's like a big family, and it's like and it's so safe, and it's so here and now, and nobody's thinking about nothing but the here and now. And I just love that. I love the calls. I love the service. Pastor Chuck, you have Pastor Chuck that was a Christian pastor, and so you have like that beautiful, like all that knowledge of like all of that along with his growing journey to this and all of that. It's like y'all have really done a beautiful job in getting the right people on board for the right things and all that kind of stuff. And I'm amazed at this. When I watch the service, when I do the meditation with Jenna, when I do the after the integration, it's like it just makes me realize, like, wow, this is it. Like, y'all are freaking brilliant, really. Like, it amazes me. I'm like, dang, like y'all got it together. So thank y'all like so much for making this accessible, for having the services, for doing all the extra stuff. I know y'all work all the time. But I know that this is your passion, so it's okay. But what else is there? Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about, Greg, about the research?
Yeah. So I'm not going to make any real specific announcements on which medical institutions we're possibly going to be working with or anything, but just to know that we are working with a company out of Canada called Quantified Citizen, who has done, I think they helped do a study on this Paul Stamets microdosing protocol. But anyways, they've developed app-based technology for surveys. So our members will be able to download an app and they will be directed to the proper surveys where they can give input and data. So we're going to, there's been no studies ever done on psilomethoxin. So this will be the first one, right, in the context of a church community. So we're going to be calculating, subjective effects at different dosages, safety profile, mental health measures, physical health measures, and more generally, we have a research team wanting to study the phenomena of psychedelic and theogenic religions popping up everywhere. And so there will be some questions about people's motivations. What are they drawn to about it? Stuff like that, which will be groundbreaking in and of itself. And just the fact that, scientific medical institutions are willing to work and do research with a church like ours is kind of groundbreaking in and of itself. I'm not saying it's never been done before. And to be honest, when we talk about the court system, these types of studies on church members are highly relevant, admissible, and like the UDV back in 2006, they used the only study that had been done on ayahuasca to that date was actually done on their church members in Brazil, and they were allowed to enter that evidence, and the judge found it compelling, and so. We're definitely not the first to ever, go down this road, but it's very rare. And, God bless these researchers that want to work with us. And, so that's it. We should have that up by the end of the month. And again, it's a chance for people to participate in groundbreaking research, and hopefully, the data comes out very favorable for Psilomethoxin, to where we can absolutely defend against any Analog Act claim, which we certainly anticipate it will come out that way. So yeah, like groundbreaking research, serving our community, serving really the larger entheogen community by, giving this data that we can crunch and present, in support of, here's Psilomethoxin, it's safe. No, it doesn't have these crazy hallucinogenic effects, which, and it's a whole other thing, but when you look at the definition of hallucinogenic or hallucinate, it doesn't really fit the classic psychedelics even, because, part of that is seeing something that you don't know is not real. You know what I mean? And yeah, the visuals and things we get from even the classic psychedelics, not saying they're not real, but it's not like some object manifested in this third dimension, like a snake or a spider, that you don't know if it's real or not. That's an hallucination. So, what we've seen though over the years is that basically the DEA has been able to schedule anything it wants to. Well, why is that? Because no one shows up to fight it. People showed up to fight for Kratom. They backed off emergency scheduling it. 5 other tryptamines and 3 other phenylethylamines they tried to schedule recently. People showed up to fight and they backed off it. And so, the writing's kind of on the wall is that, especially as it relates to psychedelics, people are interested now and they're going to stand up and oppose these things. And so we're getting this research data, in the name of science and medicine, obviously, but also to have that, foundation to where we can also show up and contest any move against the sacrament. And so, yeah, the research is very important. And, any of our members listening to this, I encourage them to participate. And if you want to come up and sign up for a membership here in the coming month or so, you'll also have a chance to participate. And, it'll give you your measures too, right? So you can actually track your progress over time through the app, as well as letting us know that information. And it's all anonymous, by the way. It's not, we'll never know which one of our members participate or not. It's completely anonymous.
Very cool. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay. Ben, you gotta go. 7:30.
Yeah, I gotta bounce.
I love you, Ben. Thank you so much.
Oh, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for having this and allowing this energy to be transmitted. Really grateful.
I'm grateful for y'all. And Greg, you can go too if you want. I'm gonna go ahead and do my energy work unless you have anything. Do you have something that you want to keep going on?
No, that's about it. Just let people know, our website, psilomethoxin.com, tons of information on there. We would love to have you. And yeah, just looking forward to the future, see how this thing grows. And I have high hopes.
Me too.
Yeah.
It really is beautiful.
Thank you. It is very fortunate to be a part of this, and very, very fortunate to have you, for sure.
So grateful. I love you, man.
Love you too.
You can stay for the energy work if you want, or you can go ahead and go off and do your
thing.
I
got a few more phone calls I need to make before I can hit the bed tonight, so I'm going to get into that. But love you and thank you.
Love you. Bye.
All right. Have a good one.
Thank you, you too. Everybody else stay on for the energy. All right. So we're going to start so I do see like some comments. Let me go ahead and kind of, so there's a comment. Now, I'll tell you this. We have, there's something going on where we're like changing processors or something in the backspace. I see that people are asking about ordering or paying their membership fee. For the last day or so, we've been switching some things around. So hopefully tomorrow, maybe try again. I'd like to order the sacrament. So you can order the sacrament as soon. So the first thing is you fill out the application. You can't just join the church. Like there's an application process that doesn't take long, but they look at the applications. They want to make sure that you're not just coming because you think that this might be something that will, get you high or something. Like, we really want the members to have the right intentions. And so there is an application process, and once the approval is done, then you get an email, then you can go ahead and pay the $55 a year membership fee, and then you can start ordering the sacrament at that time. So, and I'm just saying that because I was looking at the chat. So, all right, everyone, let's take a couple of deep breaths, and we're going to start with the energy work. Just relax. If you've never been here before for this, I call it divine energy flow. It's sort of it's an energy clearing transmission. I've used different shamanic tools to cleanse the space, and things like that. So you don't have to really pay attention to what I'm doing. Just relax. You can lay down. I'm going to turn off my big light. Yeah, because y'all don't need to see me right now. So just relax. Either sit up and just try to relax your body, soften your body. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold it and let it go out through the mouth. Nice sigh. Take another deep breath. And as you let this breath go out through the mouth, just really soften all of your body. One more deep breath. Hold. And let it out. And let's just kind of sit here and connect real quick. Me to connect with you and you to connect with me. Just kind of sit in silence. Let your breath go back to normal. Set an intention for you to get whatever energy that you need for this moment in your life. To clear anything that needs cleared or unblocked. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to do a quick smudge with some sage. Just relax and allow for this to come to you. There is no time and space in the energetic world. Try to stay in this present moment. Leave whatever if there's any worries or issues, please just leave them at the door to pick up when you leave. All is well. Nothing to worry about, nothing to do. Do a little drumming just to ground you. You can just stay where you are and continue like a meditative state if you like. You can relax, you can move around, you can maybe stretch. That'll help maybe clear some energy from from the body. Um, Thank you so much for being here. This was really a special night for me to have these guys on. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you're watching another time, all is well. Um, oh yeah, the last of this series on plant medicine, I believe I'm gonna do one on changa and just regular DMT. So changa DMT. Will be the next video, and that'll probably be the last one of the plant medicine series. I hope you all enjoyed this. I will put in the chat the link to the church so that you can become a member if you like, or you can watch the Sunday service. I would like the Sunday service is legit, every single one, and the integration after, it's perfect. It really is so legit. Like so, even if you're not a member, you can still come to the service. It's online every other week at noon on a Sunday, and so yeah, hope to see y'all here. I hope y'all got a lot from this, and hope any of your questions were answered. Um, all right. I love y'all. I will see y'all next time and have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for joining.